Okay, clears one's throat. Here we go. So this is going to be a quick screencast walking through how to upgrade or migrate a Drupal 6 website to a Drupal 7. Here's the background story. This is a website called drumstheword.com, which is it's very successful, run by my cousin back in England, Robert Litten. He trains and does drum stuff online. This is a Drupal 6 website. It's been running for a few years now, selling his digital media and downloadable lessons and videos and everything else through the website using Drupal 6. He's been through a bit of a process recently, looking at different web services, and we've been trying to decide exactly what to move and freshen his website on. He had a WordPress website designed by another company and was just unhappy with the results, didn't like the WordPress interface, that's his choice, and was unhappy with the e-commerce side of it. So after speaking with me and going through a few options, we have decided to upgrade his Drupal 6 website to a Drupal 7 website and basically migrate the content, all of the Ubercart products, his pages, his blogs to the new website. And he just wants to be able to go into the products and freshen them up, change prices, have a little tweak, but he wants the bulk of everything there. Luckily, this is very easy to do using Drupal 7 and the wonderful Migrate and even more wonderful Migrate Drupal to Drupal modules. So this is where we're starting from. Drupal 6 website, if you've read my blog, you'll have seen that I've basically done a whole bunch of cleanup, done some user pruning, even though we're not moving users. Just kind of got it down to as neat a stage as possible, excuse me, and updated all of the modules that I could on there. What I've also done on the server where this particular website runs, I've created a subdomain and I've called it Drupal7. I'll ignore that. I've called it Drupal7, and what Drupal7 is an empty subdomain where I have just uploaded an installation of Drupal 7. I think the version was 7.35. Why not Drupal 8, you may ask? Currently it's in beta 3. I wanted to go with Drupal 8, but we just decided because it's a production website and it's critical for him, this is his bread and butter, it's his earner. He's very familiar with the Drupal 6. Drupal 7 will be a nice stepping stone. And when Drupal 8 comes into production, we'll probably move to that as well, using the same technique, which is where I originally found out about the Migrate module. So let's go for it. All I've got on the server is Drupal 7, and within the Sites and Modules folder, I've uploaded Ubercart. It's relied upon modules, things like features and entity and all the stuff that it recommends you see tools, all the things it recommends you put in. I also installed Migrate and the Migrate Drupal to Drupal modules. So let's just run a Drupal install. So assuming you're doing the same, you're watching this because you want to do the same thing, if you can install a subdomain on your server that's running the main website on, that's a cool way of doing it because everything's local and reading the data from the Drupal 6 into the Drupal 7 is super quick. I mean, it runs in seconds. So here it is asking me to set up this new Drupal 7 instance. I'm just going to call it, I'm going to give it the exact same site name, which is Drums the Word. I'm going to use my email address for testing purposes. The username, now this is something you want to put in a username that's going to be displayed on the website because this will be the owner of the content that you import into the website. So for this website, I'm going to create a user called Drums the Word. Again, I'll use my email address, but you should probably use something more sensible. Put in a password to secure that. What a lovely password that is. Secure that username. And then you want to make sure that you select your default country. I'm in the US in Southern California, but Rob is in the UK. I don't want to receive email notifications. I'm going to turn that off. Oh, he also is in European Southampton time. But of course, Southampton won't be on there, but London probably will if I could do the alphabet. Let's do it. Let's install Drupal7. So this is installing Drupal7 base plus setting up, wow, that's quick, plus setting up Ubercart and the related sites, related stuff. So visit your new sites. This should show me a completely empty, boring Drupal7. And there it is. Empty site, no content, no nothing. I'm not worrying about the theme at this stage. I just want to get the data in, and then we'll play with theming and social media and XML sitemap and all the other wonderful things that we play with in Drupal land. But for right now, we're basically nearly ready to import the data from Drupal6. So we need to go to the modules and we need to enable the modules that will create things we need. So look, I know that I'm going to be importing blogs from the other website, so I'm going to turn blogs on. I know that using the standard Drupal interface, that I hate this overlay thing, so I'm going to turn this off. And let's just go down and make sure that we have migrate turned on. Don't be confused by this one, content migrate. This is doing an update from Drupal6 to Drupal7. We are not using that one because we're doing a migrate rather than attempting an update. I did attempt an update, by the way, and it failed because there's some really funky field types in it. I just spent a day dicking around with it and decided to try the migrate instead. And I ran migrate Drupal to Drupal with just pages and everything else, and it just worked. But this is my first attempt at running it with everything. So turn on Drupal to Drupal migration, the Drupal to Drupal Migration Ui. This requires the migrate module, so it will turn it on anyway, but I'm just going to turn it on. I'm not going to enable any of the migration examples. I could turn on the migrate UI, I suppose. And I'm going to turn on the Ubercart modules because I want to make sure that all of the content types for Ubercart are set up and ready to go. So let's just turn on, where is it? Where am I? Where are you? Come to me, Ubercart. Let's turn on cart, order, product, store, catalog, file downloads, payment, product attributes. I don't even know which of these he's actually using on the other websites, so I'm just going to turn on ones that I think look interesting. Power tools, stock, flat rate shipping, Google checkout, and I know he uses PayPal, so I'll turn PayPal checkout on. I'm not going to worry about any of these other modules. I'm just not going to turn them on. Let's say, okay, so it's telling me to install that combination. There's some other things that have to be turned on: entity tokens, API views, chaos tools. Fine, turn them on. I made sure that I uploaded all of those. I'll put a list of all of those modules that I uploaded into the blog that I am displaying this screencast on. If it helps someone else out and saves them the time that I've spent dicking around with this, it'll be very great. Oh, okay. So that little message that flashed up there telling me Google checkout doesn't run anymore, and I tried to enable a module which is dead, but who cares? So anyway, here we are on an empty Drupal7 website. There is no content. Look, there's nothing. But I want to make sure that within my structure, my content types include the content types I want to import. And I want to import some pages, blog entries, and products. Awesome. We're all looking good. Because I've turned on the migration options, where does migrate live? I don't even know where it lives. Oh, that's right. I think we go to structure. No, we go to, okay, ignore that little blah there. Go to content, click on content, and you'll notice that you have migrate. This is why I was looking at that page a second ago. And up here it says no migration groups defined. To create a migration group, we could create configurations for external sources, but look, we're importing from Drupal. So literally, we're just going to suck the data out from the Drupal6 website, which is still, by the way, just running merrily, and people are placing orders. And oh, look, there's 4 people logged on. There's 12 people logged in right now on his Drupal6 website buying stuff, hopefully. So let's just run and install. I know what my database name is. Incidentally, if you don't know what your Drupal6 database name is, well, you're screwed. You need to go and find out what it is. And it's easy to find on your live website. If you just go into your file manager and go to your Drupal6 installation and go into the sites folder, then go into the default folder, and then edit settings.php. If you open that file, in there you'll see the database name, the username, and the password. I don't need to know that because I know my username is ThinkPad, which is my old Quake name from many years ago, and I know what my password is for that, and I'm not telling you because it's a secret. So once you've entered the database name, the username, and the password, and stared at your dog that's just come running downstairs and barked at you for some reason, you wonder why Chrome has suddenly gone slow. Okay, it's fine again. So I'm going to leave everything else as default. You've got database ports and prefixes, but I'm not using any of that. So let's just press next and see what happens. Okay, it's asking me if I want to import the users. His Drupal6 website has 18,000 users still. A whole bunch of those are spam. A whole bunch of those are old users. Some are new users. So basically for the new site, I'm just not going to import users. I'm going to say do not import. I don't want to play around with that. I don't want to have them getting emails from the system or anything like that. So I'm not importing users. If you want to import them, then crack on. Okay. He used to use forums on the website, so it's found a vocabulary for forums with 0 terms, but I'm not going to import. It's found another source vocabulary called drum downloads with 8 terms in it. I'm going to import it into my catalog taxonomy. Don't even know why, but it can't hurt. Now it's asking me if I want to import the files that are associated on there. On the live server, i.e. under www, there's a whole bunch of files under the site's default files folder. When we put this live with Drupal7, they're still going to live there. And I don't want to import, if I look on his live server, I don't want to import 62.8 gigabytes of files into my test Drupal7 instance. So I'm going to leave them living where they are because the links will still work. And when we move this stuff into production, it will just work anyway. So unless you particularly want to import files, I would recommend you turn that off. Okay, because I have my content types set up, it's telling me, hey, it's already spoken to the Drupal6 website and it's found 211 blogs, 192 pages, and nearly 300 products defined to the database, and it's mapping them to these destination types in Drupal7. That all looks good to me, so let's just have a next. Here's my little confirmation page saying this is what I'm going to do. Do you want to save it and do it? Yes, I do. Off you run, jolly old Drupal boy. So here's Drupal. Oh, great, it's running, as you can see. Hopefully we're not going to see anything failed. I don't know how long this will take. It seems to be going really quick, so I'm not going to pause the video. I'll just leave it going while I waffle and sing a little song. I was just about to sing a song and then it completed. That saved you, didn't it? Wow, okay, so it's imported. It's told me 211 blogs, 192 pages, and 292 products with some turns, some comments, which I'll clean up, and 2 comments on pages. Cool. I mean, hey, that looks like it's worked. So if I go back to the home page, wow, boom, there's my content appearing straight away on the home page. This is the first page from his live page. It's even retained the formatting, the fonts and everything. Things like the Google Plus, the like button and the tweet. Oh, they're all here. I guess these are just theme differences. Everything seems to be on here. Okay, we've obviously got some problems with CSS. And again, I suspect that's because he's just got this edited in as some kind of funky graphics. So I'm going to need to have a little check of those. The one that I really care about is, of course, the products that are defined to the Ubercart website content. So let's go to store. products. Let's see if we have products in our store. Oh, idiot. This is where I define the products. I don't want to do that. Let's just have a look at the content. Wow. And if I say type product, please. Awesome. A whole bunch of 292 odd products. So how about Gives You Hell by the All American Rejects. And here's our product, and that's looking pretty cool. This is obviously an image placeholder. The image isn't displaying because if you look down the bottom here, it shows you where the shortcut is to. Look, I'll put it there again. Drupal7. So it's looking to the files folder. So it's looking in the right place to find that image, but because it's under the www domain rather than my Drupal7 domain, it's just showing the placeholder. So that's really good news for me. I know that when I put this stuff into production, they'll all display good. The only thing that I notice immediately is that the price hasn't come across. But apart from that, if I click edit and just see what I'm coming up, well, I haven't even enabled any of the editors yet. But hey, my feeling of happiness here is pretty high. It seems that everything's in here, all my SKU information. The only thing that's missing is prices. And I'm sure I can get those in with a little bit of playing. So now it's into setting the other modules up and playing with the theme. And all in all, I've got to say that the Migrate and the Migrate Drupal to Drupal site seems to have worked rather spiffingly and gets a big thumbs up from me. So I hope this video helped you. And hey, go and buy a drum lesson from Rob Litten at www.drumstheword.com. All right, guys, cheers.